Okay, so this is the short instructional video on how to deal with preventative maintenance inspection forms once the technician is done at the facility. You will receive a stack of papers and they need to be entered into the database. And really the reason for doing this is to make sure that the room data is accurate and the serial number data is accurate as well. And so the first thing you do is you bring up the client that you are doing the preventative maintenance inspection for. And in this case we have the Royal Jubilee Hospital. So I click on the customer profile tab from the main navigation menu, and then it opens up this customer profile page, and up here in the search box I start typing Royal Jubilee and it auto completes and I can hit enter, and there's my customer data for the Royal Jubilee Hospital. Now I'm just going to put the inspection form in front of the screen here to explain a little bit of the information on here. So the highlighted one right here is the room number. This is the serial number, so basically that serial number is in that room. We've verified that. And then this is the model, the system type, either gantry or monorail, the rated capacity of the track, not the lift, the track, and then any asset numbers. Asset numbers are usually used by health authorities and they will not always appear on your checklist. Some will be blank and that's okay. The signature of the technician, the actual checks that were done, and then down here for the C-Series model we record the cycle count, and here are notes from the technician. If there's been any work done, a work order needs to be created and noted there as well. In this case there was a dead charger and they replaced that, and I created a work order and wrote the work order number there for reference. So that's the inspection form. Now the first thing you want to double check is that in the database that serial number is actually in that room, and also you want to double check that that room information is accurate, meaning that in the database it should show that room S251 is a monorail track and has a weight rating of 625 pounds. So how to do that? That would be the first step. So to see the rooms and the tracks, you click on the rooms tab, which is right over on the left side here, and it brings up the room spreadsheet basically. Now we were interested in room S251, so I'm going to scroll down because the rooms are sorted A to Z. So S251 is right here. So I can double check with my sheet that it is a monorail track. The weight rating is correct. If it was different, you can click the drop down and change the weight rating. Same here, you can change the drop down. There are many configuration types of tracks, but generally it's either a monorail or a gantry system. And then any comments, usually it's blank, but there are some comments. And this is the date that the record was modified or created. So we now know that this information is correct. And the next step now would be to verify that the serial number that was on the checklist is actually in that room. So to find the serial numbers, you click on the Inventory tab, and then this is the list of all the products that are installed there. This also includes scales and hover mats and portable lifts and all. If it's a product and it has a serial number, it's going to be in here. So you can sort any of these columns by double-clicking in the column itself. It'll sort from smallest to highest, and then you can do it with the rooms as well. If I double-click in the rooms, there's a bunch of blank ones. They get sorted to the top, and then here you start seeing the actual numbered rooms. And rooms that start with letters are actually way down here. So it starts A, C, and all that. So anyway, so we were looking for serial number on the form here. This is a serial number. It's C4M0004827. Now I'll sort this numerically, and I can scroll down fairly quickly. As soon as I start seeing the C4Ms, I can find 4827 fairly easily, and there it is right here. So that's the serial number in question. It is in room S251. If it was not, I would click this drop down and I can select any other room, and it will actually change the room data as well for that lift, meaning it'll say which track it is and all that. So this was actually accurate, so we can leave it as is. You hit escape to get out of that. So I was down here, it's in the A block, has a weight rating of 625, is an installed product, and the track is monorail. That's correct. So the next step is to enter the rest of the information off the form for that lift. Now, I mentioned earlier that we had the cycle count down here. Now this cycle count goes in this column right over here. It's int count, it actually says. That's the name of the variable where that information resides, I think. And so I've done this one already, so it already says 142, which is what's on my form. And then, oh, that's my phone, that's going to be in the video. And then the last thing I want to record is also the asset number. So we have two fields way over to the right over here. One is for track asset number and the other is for lift asset number. So in this case, the track did not have an asset number, so I left it blank and I entered the lift asset number. Now, basically, this record for this lift is 100% accurate. We've been to the facility last week, we verified, so now we have achieved our goal of updating the data. And the cycle count is a big one. A lot of facilities like to know that information, so we can provide them spreadsheets later on with all that info on it. So I think that pretty much covers it. If you need to create a work order, like in this case I had a dead charger, like I said, if I need to create a work order, it's fairly simple. I would go back to the main navigation menu. I would click on work orders and I can click on the new button. I'll just do one here for practice. New, and then you go over here to select the actual facility. You start typing Royal Jubilee and it'll autocomplete. Hit enter. Now I have the serial number. It was C4M0004827 and I can select it in here. This is a gigantic list, so maybe that's a little too tedious. So there's a nice search field up here, C4M0004827, and it will find it and it'll sort it right at the top here. So to select that one, you just click in the model field. And it'll fill in, here's your serial number, the in-service date, the model, all the information where that one is, S251, and you can just complete your work order. I usually, for the person who reports it, I usually put the name of the service technician who did the inspection. Here I would write, there was a dead charger. What we did was we replaced it, and then you can select the part out of the drop down here. I know the part number is 413789 for the chargers. If you type it, it doesn't appear what you're typing, but it is recording it in the background, and if you hit enter after you type the 6 numbers of the part, it will actually place it right in here. So you have to put the quantity, of course, it's one charger, and you set the stock status to warranty. If it was a billable repair, you would set it to restock, but warranty for this one. There's no cost to the customer, so I delete that amount. And then it gives me basically a completed work order. So we'll have another tutorial in the work order section on how to do these, so I'm not going to go into it in detail right now, but that's it in a nutshell.
Could we print preview a work order?
Print preview? You mean the work order here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically if you want to preview the work order, so let's pretend this is an actual work order. We'll put a technician in there. The billable status was warranty. I'm going to go back to the beginning. I usually like to complete work orders from left to right, so I'll write who reported it. It was Nick. The priority is standard. If it was an emergency, you know, high and low, you can put the status there. And then warranty, yes. And then we would have our work order here, and we can, this is, if you click the work order button, let me go back here a second. So there's all these buttons up here which can be a little confusing. It's just ways of displaying the work order in a printed format. So if you click on work order, it will create the work order like that, and then you can go file and print, and then it will print the work order. Hit escape to get out of here if you don't want to do that. So that's the work order you give to the actual service technician to go do work. It has the relevant information for them, a field for what the problem is. They write their service notes in here and any parts that they've used down here, and their time on site and their travel time, so we keep track of that. Hit escape to get out of here if you have to. So that's the work order button. There's also a quote button that you can give to customers if they want to know how much it's going to cost to fix something. You just hit the quote button. In this case, it was warranty, so it's $0, but the actual cost is $380 for a replacement charger. And so this would be something you can put in a portable document format or a PDF, and you can email to clients, or you can just print it and give it to the person if they're nearby. And then there are buttons here, Quote PDF and Work Order PDF. These actually automatically create a PDF ready to save somewhere. It's not something you would print. You can print it obviously, but it's to be able to just go file and save. So you can email it fairly quickly. So that's what those are for, Quote PDF and Work PDF. And that's about it. I think so.
Great.
Yeah.
Way to go, Pat.
Okay, thanks. Bye.